Hi, girlies. Welcome back to another episode of Girls Got Game, where the girls that get it, get it. We have a very special treat for you today. We're going to be talking the WNBA Championship, the World Series, and the new women's marathon record holder.
A lot of treats, but no tricks. You're in for a very spooktacular episode. Right here with us, Frankie Noble on
Triple G.
I'm the actual Frankie Noble, but I don't know how to live up to that. We're here with not Frankie Nobles. We're here with Wolverine, also known as Ty Paton, and the Purple M&M, also known as Kenny Harris, to talk some WNBA for the last time this season. How are you guys doing?
Spooky. Very spooky.
You guys killed the intro.
Thank you.
I think you're going to come back every week and do it.
Yep.
channeling my inner Frankie Noble for the past couple days.
Yeah? Awesome. Well, let's just get right into the WNBA then. Obviously, we have a new winner of the WNBA Finals. We have the Liberty, which I will say we all predicted. Yep. When we talked about, I don't think you were on that segment, but when we all talked about who was going to win, we all said the Liberty.
I said the Aces.
No, you did not.
I did.
I looked at the rundown and it was Liberty.
Before the season, I said Aces. Like before the finals, I said Aces.
Okay. But when it was between Liberty and Lynx, we all knew that the Liberty were going to win. Even Ty Paton. Did you think the Lynx were going to make it this far?
No, I didn't. And I think a lot of people sit with me and resonate with that. Like, last year it was the Aces Liberty. Liberty came as the runners-up. Nobody thought they were going to come back all the way. But, I mean, if anything was going to happen, maybe a rehashing, maybe two new teams. But I don't think anybody saw the Liberty Lynx going all the way this far.
I personally didn't. I didn't think the Lynx were going to make it. But I will say it was a very entertaining series. 5 games, 2 OT wins for the Liberty. I mean, the last game, Game 5, ended 67-62 in OT. Very exciting. What did you guys think of that game?
This is me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I love the series, how back and forth it was. It was competition. The scores may not have been as pretty, and there were a few games where the star players for the Liberty didn't necessarily shoot well, but it was a team effort in those wins for them. They moved the ball, they played defense, and they just grinded it out because this is, again, it's the finals, the 2 best teams, and it's going to be a bloodbath. And I think the fans really appreciated that. The home games for the Liberty were crazy in terms of how loud they were, so it's a very, very entertaining series.
You mentioned it went to OT. I think that game could realistically be decided by who had home field advantage. So being in New York, Liberty had a little bit of an ace up their sleeve.
Absolutely.
No pun intended, playing the Aces last year.
There you go. I will say it is New York City's first professional basketball championship since 1973.
Yep.
So New York has been waiting. They have, 2 NBA teams. They have been waiting. Super exciting. Like you said, star players didn't really come out to play, especially in the last game, in Game 5. Sabrina only had 5 points, 8 assists, and 1 block, which is not like her at all. Brianna Stewart had not as bad of a game. She had 13 points, 4 assists, and 3 blocks, which also isn't like her. Not bad, but the players that really needed to back them up.
For sure.
One that I want to mention, I'm sure we all know, is Jonquel Jones, MVP. Overall in the finals, 89 points, 38 rebounds, and 11 assists. In that last game, Game 5, she had 17 points. Very good. What did you guys think of her?
I think she's just an example of stability on championship teams. Everyone expects Sabrina and Brianna Stewart to have the ball in their hands a lot. But if they're in a slump, you need something else to go to. You need another option. And Jonquel Jones throughout the whole series was just a consistent 15 to 20 points. He's going to give it to you on both ends of the floor, offense, defense, and that proved to be exactly what the Liberty needed.
Yeah, when you have names like Ionescu and Stewart on a roster, right, they're going to be playmakers, but they're not going to come out and give everything every single day. They just can't. You can't physically do that. But Jonquel Jones is someone you can build a team around, like a dominant 100%. Center in this league. And so to have that on your roster in the finals, that's a game changer.
Yeah, and she's very low maintenance too. A lot of teams that have star power like they do, it's hard to share the ball and things like that. But Jonquel Jones will get her production in without really causing much of a problem in the offense.
She's also not a rookie by any means. She is a absolute veteran. I will say Ashley Rowe, wherever she is right now, she did choose Jonquel Jones, the first ever WNBA segment we had on Girls Got Game, as her standout player in the entire league. So I will say she had a pretty good choice. She knew something. Go play the lottery or something. But she is a vet. When you watch her play, like, it seems like the ball just comes to her, and that's not even someone you would expect it to. Like we've been saying, you expect it to be Sabrina, Brianna, whatever, and the ball gravitates to her. Awesome. She makes plays. What I do want to ask is, from the finals, what were some of your standout moments? Ty, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so I'm going to be looking into Game 3 and Brianna Stewart's performance, because Game 1, Game 2, both in New York, effectively, if you win those 2 games, you've locked in a Game 5 were you to lose out in Minnesota. But the Liberty go 1-1 in Games 1 and 2 at home. So it's crucial to get a win in Minnesota. You cannot lose 2 in Minnesota and still wind up with a W. You need to win. Brianna Stewart, Game 3, winds up with 30 points, 11 rebounds, drops a double-double when they needed it most. They win 80-77. I mean, this is just the dominant performance you need from a player like Brianna Stewart in the finals, right? Oh my goodness, we're watching the highlights over here. I just watched that bucket right there. This is a dominant player. I love watching Brianna Stewart highlights. And we talked over the phone yesterday, Frankie Noble. You called me, you said, hey, how much do you like the WNBA? Okay, and I said, look, I'll say it in front of everybody in the studio, okay? I like the WNBA more than I like the NBA.
You did say that.
Yeah, I did say that. And why do I, you ask? Well, LeBron's going to drop 30 every game. I don't even need to watch the game that nobody's going to do. But Brianna Stewart, hey, it might be a little on and off. When she has her games, that's a show to watch, all right?
Well, exactly.
And I love those kinds of WNBA games, watching a player like her go off.
Like we said, obviously she didn't have her best performance Game 5, whatever. Even Game 1, she didn't have her best performance. But when she is dominant, she is dominant. And you see her running up the court. Like you said, it is a league that you don't know who's going to have the best game. You don't know who will have the most points at the end of the night like you would in NBA or in the NFL, NHL, whatever. Like, your standout players, or LeBron or Connor McDavid, things like that. But obviously, they have Sabrina and Brianna, who are their standout players, but they might not have great games, like we said.
Yeah, and then you have your Jonquel Jones. It's so exciting.
It's super exciting. Really Speaking of exciting, my standout moment was just in general Liberty getting their first title in the WNBA. They're an original WNBA team. They've been a team for 28 years. It was definitely due. And it was super exciting, like we've said. They were exciting games. Some of them were a little bit of a wash, where you knew who was going to win. And then we had 2 OTs. Super exciting. You can watch it here. It was very emotional for New York. I mean, New York is one of the sports cities, like we've said. You have New York, Boston, South Florida, I'll say. Don't laugh at me. But it was a super emotional win. You can see it on all their faces. Very exciting, very happy for them. You have the players that we've mentioned several times that deserve this trophy more than anything. So super exciting to me. Bouncing off of that, Kenny, you have something exciting to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Just transitioning right into mine. You work hard, you play hard, you party even harder. As soon as the 0-0s hit the clock, when you hear "We Are the Champions" playing, or you see the confetti falling, you just know, it gives me chills every time I see it. So, first championship in franchise history. The city of New York was shut down. The parades were crazy, and it's just such a beautiful thing to see because, first of all, New York City hasn't won a lot of championships in recent years. I think it was the Giants last time, 2011.
Jeez.
But it's super important that franchises or cities like New York get some victories, because it's just, life is so much better when New York wins championships. My family's from Brooklyn, so it's I know what it's like to see a New York team lose a few times. The impact that the Liberty have in their community is just so phenomenal as well. Jonquel Jones, the finals MVP, she's Bahamian. And New York City and Brooklyn especially, where the Liberty play, have such a huge Caribbean population that to see the representation like that and the way these women go out and inspire their community is just so beautiful. And I just love seeing Manhattan, Brooklyn, everywhere in New York City just praising these women for what they did.
It's absolutely incredible, and you can't not mention the turnout for the games, the turnout for the parade, all for a women's sport. It's incredible. The WNBA, obviously, this season has broken record after record, even last season, record after record. Obviously, the inclusion of Caitlin Clark this year, Angel Reese, brought more eyes to the league. But even watching those parade highlights, it was packed.
Oh, yeah.
It was packed, so it's incredible to see. I love it. We all love it. Any closing thoughts you guys have just about this season in general?
Yeah, I think, more on the whole rather than anything specific. When people start sitting down and they start watching the WNBA for what it is, and they see players go off when they really shouldn't. They see players have dud games when they really should, and there's all this versatility among players. There's all this ups and downs of the season. You really never know what's going to happen. That's kind of the excitement of sports that a lot of people miss right now, you know? I think next season going into it, there are going to be a lot more eyes on the WNBA, which is huge, especially for us talking on Girls Got Game about boasting up women's sports, getting them in the public limelight. So I'm very excited for next year. I think it's going to be awesome.
Me too, 100%. Kenny?
I'm hoping for some fun new jerseys. Nike's always coming with the new jerseys, so with more eyes, we need some new drip and just more fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, hopefully I don't do anything bad because they ruined the Oregon Ducks jerseys.
That's another topic for another day.
We'll have to end it there. I'm super, super sad we won't be talking any more WNBA this season. But stay tuned because we're going to talk some baseball for the first time on Girls Got Game next.
Hello, Hitting the Field family. My name is Andrew Montana, host of Season 19 of The Main Show. And on behalf of HTF, we hope you're enjoying today's content. But I'm here to tell you about everything else we have to offer here at the network. Mondays at noon, HTF Bets goes live with 3 of the best on-air faces we have in the program. Andrew Greig's personality, Tyler Brownrick's sports expertise, and Nick Cohen's versatility make this show a fan favorite, but also a warm light to guide you through the harsh world that is the sports betting industry. On Tuesdays, Frankie Noble hosts a brand new show called Girls Got Game, blending women in sports, the biggest sports news stories, and creative segments that make for a fun and engaging show. Next up, we've got The Combine, an easygoing, conversational, and podcast-style show dropping on Wednesdays with Ty Paton as your host. No changes there. But a big change for The Combine is the set. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to The Combine from our brand new podcast studio. We've got the lights, we've got the cameras, all for Ty Paton to bring the action, and we hope you're just as excited as we are for this amazing opportunity. Much great content from The Combine this semester, as always. Then tune in Thursdays at noon for our second live show, The Main Show, hosted by, well, yours truly. Here we'll cover any sport, any topic, any story, no matter how obscure, be it basketball, football, hockey, soccer, UFC, MMA, cycling, even baseball. But be sure to tune in throughout the semester for our special shows, including drafts, debates, and much, much more. Lastly, Nighttime is aired on Fridays, where Patrick Previty and Matthew Bracker talk about UCF and college sports. From in-depth looks at campus's top storylines to collegiate records being broken nationwide, let Nighttime be your primary college sports resource. And outside of our 5-show roster, be sure to tune into our other content, such as the Studio Days vlog run by Vlog King Nick Cohen, breaking news graphics on our Instagram page, and much more. As well, make sure you subscribe to Hitting the Field Network on YouTube, as well as following us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. But as for me, I've been Andrew Montana. Thank you so much for watching, and back to your regularly scheduled programming.
We're back to talk my favorite sport in the world, baseball. I know so much about it. I don't, but we have 2 people that really do. We have Augie, also known as Bob Ross, and Diego Ortiz, known as just a boxer, yeah. Which is fitting because he talked about WWE on the show. Yeah. Bob Ross, do you want to start us off? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to paint some nice little happy trees. And don't worry if there's any happy accidents. It's all right, everybody. It's okay. It's
okay. Diego, how are you?
I'm good.
Good? Yeah. Super excited to talk World Series. Obviously, this is the biggest thing in sports right now. We've talked about it a lot on this network, but now we've already had 2 games happen. Dodgers are up, obviously, 2-0. I didn't expect it. I don't know how you guys feel. I'm actually, what did you guys expect out of the first 2 games?
I thought it was going to be split 1-1.
Really?
Yeah.
Diego?
It honestly should have been split 1-1.
I don't know. I kind of expected the Dodgers to. I wanted the Yankees to win, but I kind of expected the Dodgers to kind of get ahead and really just take control of this series.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big baseball fan. I would have to be a self-proclaimed Yankees fan, so I'm just going to root for them to the end. We'll get into it later. I still think they're going to take it. It's been an exciting World Series start so far. First game, Dodgers won 6-3. Game 2, they won 4-2. Right. What did you guys think out of these first 2 games? Augie, if you want to start with the first game.
That Freddie Freeman's a dog.
Yeah.
That's about all. Freddie Freeman is literally carrying the Dodgers. He's got 5 RBIs. He had the grand slam. He had a triple. And he had that homer in game 2. And he's playing all hurt. And so, yeah, simply put, Freddie Freeman's a dog.
Which, it's incredible to see that because you think Dodgers, you think Shohei Ohtani, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
At least that's what you do if you're not into baseball too much. So to have Freddie Freeman come out as the standout so far. Obviously, Shohei got injured at the end of game 2. He's supposed to come back tonight, which tomorrow it'll be yesterday. So we'll see what happens after his little shoulder injury, but I do think Freddie Freeman has had an incredible run so far in these 2 games. Yeah. Diego, what did you think about game 1?
To me, I think the main problem with the Yankees is just like not only is like a lot of their pitching staff a little inconsistent, they also don't really have the complete lineup to really win a championship. I think it's kind of just really based on how good Soto's doing, how good Judge is doing, and if Stanton can somehow, you know, hit a home run again. Like, but other than that, it's just like the rest. Like, it's only 3 players that are real threats to me out of the 9 batters. So I think that's just really their biggest problem.
No, Diego's absolutely right. It's a top-heavy order with the 3 guys that are about to make about $1 billion combined a year. But I mean, he's 100% right, and it can't be top-heavy, especially when your best player, and Aaron Judge is their best player, is hitting.
Without a doubt.
No, he's batting 150 this postseason.
Yeah.
So he's got to step it up. And I mean, this isn't a first for Aaron Judge either. Aaron Judge, in the past in the playoffs, has also disappeared in the playoffs before. So Aaron Judge needs to pick it up if the Yankees don't want to fall down 3-0 and lose the series.
I mean, they obviously got Juan Soto for this reason in the postseason. How do you think he's been doing? Obviously, he's had not a bad postseason run at all. What do you guys think about his performance so far?
I think he's played pretty well. He's come up for the Yankees a lot in really big moments. I mean, last game 2, he was the one who tied up the game after Tommy Edmonds' home run at the start. He's always shown up for the Yankees, like, really when they needed him the most. I don't know if you could really say that about Aaron Judge or Giancarlo Stanton this postseason.
No, I think you've gotten, if you're Brian Cashman, the Yankees GM, and a Yankee fan anywhere, you've got exactly what you wanted out of Juan Soto and exactly why you traded for Juan Soto. And I mean, like they said after the Guardian series, the blank check's coming.
100%.
And there's a reason for that. It's because he's done exactly what you have wanted Juan Soto to do. And it's just up to this rest of this lineup to carry. And the pitching staff's honestly not been that bad. I mean, Nestor Cortez obviously was a little rough. Yeah. But Garrett Cole threw a good game. Yeah. Rondon didn't throw that bad of a game. Yeah. No. So like the pitching staff's been fine. The bullpen's a little worrying for me though.
Yeah.
Really? How so?
Well, I don't understand. I understand that there's a lefty matchup with you wanted Freddie Freeman against Nestor Cortez, but you're Luke Weaver. Yeah. I know Frankie likes Luke Weaver.
I do like Luke Weaver.
He's been probably your best pitcher in the postseason. You don't bring him in the biggest spot. It's just a little questioning. I mean, I'm all for seeing the Yankees lose as a Mets fan. All
crazy.
For it. All for it. But I'm just questioning Aaron Boone's decision-making right there. Like, first of all, Nestor Cortez, I don't know if he's pitched all playoff. And you just throw the guy in against a stud like Freddie Freeman?
He hasn't pitched for like a
month. No, it's literally been a month. And then you got Luke Weaver in the bullpen, who's probably been one of the hottest pitchers in baseball right now.
Definitely.
So it just didn't. The move just didn't make sense to me then, and before he hit the homer, and then now, like 30 seconds after, seeing the homer on the first pitch too. Yeah. It just didn't make any sense to me. So it's just got to. Aaron Boone's decision makes it a little questionable.
It's a little questionable. Obviously, me and Augie were talking about baseball right before this, and I did say I want to see more of Luke Weaver. There's just something I like about that guy. We talked a little bit about the Yankees, and obviously we talked about Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani. What do you think of the Dodgers so far? We haven't really touched on them as much as the Yankees.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think the Dodgers have been more of a complete team. I mean, even their bullpen's been playing a lot better than I feel like the Yankees for the most part. Like Mookie Betts is still, like, obviously he's going to be playing great. Freddie Freeman's, like, these are all MVP caliber players. Ohtani, Freeman, and Mookie Betts. Then Teoscar Hernandez have been playing pretty solid as well. Like, their team, I feel like they're just way too deep, and I just don't see them losing World Series.
Yeah, Teoscar and Freddie went back-to-back in Game 2. That was 3 runs and a couple pitches right there. It was good ABs. Freddie had a full count and everything. Yeah, there you go. There's that grand slam to end it. I mean, that
was like seeing that all over my like social media. It was picture perfect.
You can't throw a hitter like Freddie Freeman a 93-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle and expect good things to happen. No. Freddie Freeman's been way too good for that. Way too good for way too long for you to just do that. It makes no sense. I mean, the guy's been dominant. Pretty much been one of the best players. By far, one of the best first basemen since he stepped foot in the league. So you can't just throw him a 93-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle and expect good things. You got to expect accidents when you throw him a 93-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle.
Happy little accidents.
Well, it's not a happy accident for the New York Yankees.
So obviously we've talked about the first 2 games. Kind of just to wrap it up, what do you guys think is going to happen the next 2 games, and who do you think is going to take it overall?
I think the Yankees will probably take Game 3, but I think after that, the Dodgers will probably win their next 2. And
really? You think the Yankees are just going to take 1 game?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Augie, I'm curious what you think.
Now, I went on main show last week and declared that I felt like, I don't know why I declared it, but I felt like I just had a gut feeling that it was the New York Yankees' time. I don't have that feeling anymore.
Really?
I don't.
Augie did say that it was going to be a spur-of-the-moment decision. He would not tell anybody who
said
he
it
was
was a
going to
game-time
choose.
decision.
Yeah.
Give me the Dodgers. I mean, I don't think they're going to sweep it. I think
No.
the Yankees will at least take one game. I think it definitely goes back to LA. But the Dodgers should win it in LA.
Do you
and
think-
I see them winning it 4-2. So it's
4-2.
6.
Okay. Give me your final score prediction last game. What do you think it's going to end?
I think it's going to be a close one. Give me 6-5.
6-5?
Yeah.
Diego?
You'd like the last game of the World Series.
Yeah, like if you think that the Dodgers are going to take it 4-1, what do you think that game 5 is going to be?
They'd probably win. I'd probably say like, I don't know, something like 8-1 or something.
8-1?
I think, yeah.
Really?
It's just
Who's going to get those runs?
I don't know. Probably
Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman's going to get all 8.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think, are we on the same page here? Freddie Freeman so
Yeah.
far has been the MVP favorite.
Right now,
and
yeah.
He probably will be the
Yeah.
MVP favorite.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah, I'm on the same page.
Do you
as
think I don't know if it works like this in baseball. Do you think he'd get it even if the Yankees win the World Series?
No, it doesn't work with that in baseball.
Okay, that's how it works in
But if the
hockey.
Yankees win, I feel like it's going to be Juan Soto because Judge has been non-existent. I mean, it could be Stanton. Stanton just goes crazy because Stanton has those games sometimes
Yeah,
where he'll miss a baseball by 6 feet, and then the next game he's hitting everything 100 feet out of the park. So you don't know with Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
So it could be him. But I have a feeling if the Yankees win, it's going to be Juan Soto.
Yeah.
I think those are some pretty awesome takes. I'm interested to see what happens the next few games. That's all the time we have to talk baseball, but stay tuned because we're going to talk some running next. We're all huge fans. Their mascot's name is Ellie the Elephant. Mason, do you want to tell us a little bit about Ellie?
Basically, her birthday is May 14th, 2021, so she's only 3 years old, but like the fact that she's out here doing all this for the team at 3 years old, don't ask me about labor laws, that doesn't look like that, but she's like killing it, and her energy, and I think the fans just like really feed into it.
Love it. And then Michaela, who's the biggest Dancing with the Stars fan.
I am.
know. Let's show off the shirt.
Can you see it? Should I stand?
He's used to it. Who surprised you?
Joey, when he came on there,
We were talking about WWE, and I was told home invasions happen often.
Yeah,
Can we talk about
it's a
these
bit of a
home
concern
invasions?
how big of a regular occurrence this is. If they can find it, they can use it. It will be bloody. These men will probably be brutalized and injured by the end of this.
It's pretty cool.
I don't like the waves though.
Really, I like
They could
the
be like more
waves.
detailed, like those
Yeah.
look like waves.
I feel like
I mean, a lot of mascots are not like exactly what they're like. Logos.
Okay, but like the solar bears have like shades, so like what would
Yeah,
their
but, like,
mascot be?
but
Like
that's
just like an
easy to
alarm
do.
on the
But, like,
ground?
it's-
I don't like the
Yeah.
red and yellow together.
I
It's like
don't know.
McDonald's.
It's good, and I think it's soccer. I don't know if that's like.
What's a victoire?
We're gonna just
Okay.
move on to the next one. This one's like, This is like below the charge for me.
Taylor Swift.
Welcome back. We're here to talk the new women's marathon record holder, Ruth Chepngetich. Did I pronounce that correctly? You told me something else. Whatever. Very confusing name to pronounce, but very fast runner.
Yes.
We'll say that. Anya was very excited to talk about this, so I'll throw it to you
Yes.
right now. What do you want to say about her?
Yes. So Ruth, she has won the Chicago Marathon for the 3rd time now, with the 2 previous years that she won it were in 2021 and 2022, which, fun fact, I was at the 2021 one volunteering. So I did actually get to see her run. It was really phenomenal. But on top of that, she has broken a world record for women's marathon running. She now holds the record of 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 56 seconds for 26.2 miles. Which, if you do the math, which we've already done for you, that is sub 5 minutes per mile.
Right.
Sub 5.
You just heard Kathleen Moore like gasp. That is absolutely insane.
Yes.
Like that's crazy. I couldn't run that fast, I'll tell you right now.
I couldn't either.
And we were talking, it's all about like pacing, and like she's just
Yes.
fast.
And Chicago's notoriously a fast course because it's pretty level. You're running through the streets, and it happens in October. So by the time October rolls around in Chicago, it's a little bit cooler if everything goes by the grace of the Midwest weather. But yeah, and so it's known to be a fast course. So records have been broken on this course time and time again. Ruth, actually, she had gone under 2 hours and 11 minutes. She broke that barrier for women. She was the first one to do so in Chicago, I believe in 2022.
It's pretty incredible. Andrew, as a runner yourself, what do you think about this?
Yeah, no, I think it's an incredible world record because of the fact that, like Anya pointed out, you have to run under 5 minutes a mile for over 26 miles, which is absolutely insane. Just to put in perspective, she would have come in 10th place like overall between men's and women, so it was like one of the greatest accomplishments in like just marathon running history and in athletics history in general. So the World Athletics, which like keeps records and data of like every single like race, like competitive race ever run, they had this as like their single all-time highest like scoring. Like they do scores for it, and this is the single highest scoring like world record of all time, which is kind of insane because of how many other world records have fallen within even like the last couple of years. There is a little bit of talk because like there have been like shoes that like performing enhancing shoes that have come out like recently over like the last 5 years that have made it like easier, and there's more cushion on these shoes, and the bounce back you get, it like improves efficiency.
Some of them have carbon fiber plates that literally make you bounce off the road.
Yeah, 100%. So the goal for this race was very clearly to go out there and break the world record. They started off at 1 hour and 4 minutes through the half marathon, which would have been on average like closer to 3 minutes over the previous world record, which was 2 hours and 11 minutes, which is definitely insane. And like Anya pointed out, it was the first women's marathon to ever go under 2 hours and 11 minutes, as well as 2 hours and 10 minutes. As she went for 2 hours and 9 minutes and 53 seconds, which is absolutely insane. And just one of the craziest world records ever broken. And nobody was really expecting them to go that quickly, but they did, and it was awesome.
It is like wild to me. Like we're talking about, this is one of the best world records to ever be broken, and it isn't really talked about that much. Like obviously we're talking about it now. Some people in the studio knew what we were talking about, but it's not like on national news too much. Like it is, but I didn't even know. I'll say I didn't know about this until Anya told me. Like I wish that I'm honest, and like I wish that there was more of like a spotlight on things like marathon runners.
It's unfortunate because the sport can't really be televised. It's the same shot over and over and over and over and over and over again for 2 hours. So people will click off. It's why it doesn't get talked about that much. But I think there are other ways that news studios and media can just focus on it without just showing clips of the same person running. Like NPR did a good job with getting an interview from Ruth after she had crossed the finish line, and she talked about how she considers Chicago like a second home now because of how often she has won there, and also how much the people of Chicago have like brought her in and like basically claimed her as like one of their own.
Right, that's awesome. Andrew, did you have something you want to say?
Yeah, I was just gonna follow up on that. I think it's awesome the fact that she has gotten like such a kind of home in Chicago, and that she feels so at home there, because like her previous personal best also came in the Chicago Marathon, as Anya mentioned before, and she's just run super fast times there. So the fact that everyone's been so welcoming, and you can see that there's such a big crowd like waiting for her at the finish line, is obviously awesome. She was like at post-race, after running 26 miles, she was just running back and forth, kind of celebrating with the crowd, which is awesome to see, and just in general, great for the sport. It's
Yes.
I do
ahead.
have to say, like when you were like, oh, everybody was waiting for her, something that I love when there's marathons around the world is like the sign making and things like that. Like I always think about like the New York Marathon, because obviously it's going through all of New York, like the city areas, and there's always like the best signs that are just like telling people, I don't know, like you're laughing, but it's I think it's so creative. And like I think obviously about the New York Marathon, I know we're talking about Chicago, but like you think about like TikTok, it's all over TikTok when like the New York Marathon is in town, obviously. From these like creative sign making, and because of the New York, we were just talking about the Liberty, like New York goes all out. I don't see too much about Chicago. I wish I saw more. Obviously I know they make signs for Chicago.
Honestly,
obviously
you have to be there to experience it. Like I said, I was there 3 years ago, and even though I was a volunteer and I wasn't like moving with people to go see the runners, because there's a lot of people who like are regular runners who run the Chicago Marathon as well. I have friends who ran it like this past one, and it's just incredible to watch just everybody cheer everybody on. For volunteers, it's like you're passing out the cups, and it's like just you see so many runners, like especially at the beginning, who are like, thank you so much, and like grabbing and like barely drinking any and like throwing it off to the side. And it's the livelihood of it is just so, I feel like I've never felt that in any other sport before, just because you know how grueling 26 miles is.
Right, that's a little insane. Andrew?
Yeah, I think the camaraderie is definitely there with running. Everyone kind of like wants to see each other do well. Maybe like not the very top competitors, but like everyone in like the surrounding crowd kind of has a rooting interest for everybody that's racing in there because everyone kind of understands how grueling 26 miles is. Not everyone can do it. So
Right.
I think it's like also so amazing the fact that she like was like in front of the rest of the field by over 8 minutes.
That's crazy.
The next fastest finisher finished in 2 hours and 17 minutes, which is obviously like 8 minutes slower than her, which is insane. A lot of people are attributing it to a lot of different things, but I think it's just great running. She had her pacer out in front of her, and she just kept on pushing her to the limit. Him to the limit. So.
You can compare it. I know you're a big fan to like Max Verstappen in F1, who's always so far ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
They're like
It's
Max and
definitely
Ruth. They're like the same.
It's definitely reminiscent of it because of the fact that she was just so far in front of everybody else. Like at first there was like a couple of competitors that were relatively close, but by the end of it, she was just so far away.
And to quickly wrap it up, she is self-coached.
Really?
Yes.
That's like incredible.
So it's incredibly impressive.
Super incredible. This has been so fun. I'm glad we've highlighted these sports that don't really get highlighted too often. It's been an awesome, spooky episode of Girls Got Game. Stay tuned to next week where we have a brand new episode of Girls Got Game.
Thank you.